When it comes to your website, it has only one primary purpose, and that is to bring you new clients, new leads, new inquiries to your business every single day. But before that can happen, you need to make sure that you have certain things in place on your website that your potential clients or visitors who come on your website want to see. And in today's video, I'm going to share 7 things that you need to have on your website that potential clients want to see before they go on to hire you. If you're new to this channel, my name is Ana. I am the owner of Lea Design Studio, where I create custom Squarespace templates, resources, and courses to help you look stunning online. And here on this channel, I share design, marketing, and branding tips to help you work smarter and not harder. So if that's something that you're interested in, hit that subscribe button. And now let's dive into today's video. Okay, so the number one thing that your website needs to have, and ideally this should be placed above the fold, so at the very top of your website, is your brand mission statement or your tagline, or just a simple sentence, because that's what it is in a nutshell, that explains what it is that you do, who you do it for, and how you do it differently. This lets potential clients to immediately know whether they are in the right place, and it also serves to weed out those clients who aren't the right fit for you. For example, if somebody is looking for a mindset coach and your website doesn't have a mission statement or a tagline that clearly says that you're a mindset coach for a specific group of people, then they won't know that you're the right person to help them, even though you might be offering those services. That's why that statement needs to go at the very top of your website in the header area, or in the hero area, rather, not the header, but the hero area, the very first part, the very top of your website that is visible on your homepage when somebody lands there, before they even begin to scroll down. The second thing that your potential clients are looking for is professional design. Now, this might sound obvious coming from a designer, but believe me when I say that professional looking website does matter. After all, put yourself in their shoes. When you, even if you're not looking to hire somebody specifically, but if you go onto a website and it looks outdated, the layout is wonky, there's tons of flashing images, the colors are clashing, how likely are you to actually stay on that website and continue browsing it and see what it has to offer? Chances are not very likely. Your clients are the same way. So when you're designing your website, even if you're doing it yourself, you need to keep certain things in mind and make sure that it looks professional in the end. A few ways you can achieve that is by making sure you use high quality photos, a cohesive design and layout through your website that makes it easy to navigate, that gives them a logical way to follow on your website, copy that is free of jargon and words that they don't really understand, no wall-to-wall text that is hard to read. I'm talking large, chunky paragraphs that span either from top to the bottom of the website or from one edge to the next of the browser. Fonts that are hard to read, like everything in bold or everything in italic or everything written in script fonts. So those are just some things that you want to avoid on your website to ensure that it has that professional and polished look. Now, this brings me to point 3. Just because your website looks professional, that does not mean that it has to look boring. On the contrary, your potential clients, your website visitors, do want to see your personality. So don't be afraid to let that personality speak and actually be visible and present throughout your website. In fact, showing your personality is one of the best ways to lean into what makes you different, what makes you stand out, and it's one of the best ways you have to connect with your ideal audience. Now, this doesn't mean that you need to share your entire personal story, because if I'm being completely honest, nobody really cares about that. But a few relevant qualities that you have, personal values that reflect in your business, a few fun traits, quirks, or something like that that showcase that you are the real human behind the brand can go a long way towards establishing trust, know, and like factor that is needed before somebody goes on to hire you. Another way that you can show your personality is through your website photos. This is why I say it is always a good idea to have a few photos of yourself, even if you're camera shy, but people want to connect with people. People want to buy from people. So by letting them see who is behind the brand, who is the name that they're trying to work with, that they're trying to find out more about, goes a long way towards showing your human side and establishing that connection. And it just makes your whole brand more personable, more relatable, and thus makes it easier for them to decide that you are the right person to actually help them. Thing number 4 that potential clients want to see on your website is the transformation that you provide. So how will their life be better after working with you? What is in it for them? What can they expect to gain from working with you? After all, if they're browsing your website, they know that they need help. They're looking for help and they want to know that you can get them that help. They are looking for that transformation. Will you be able to help me to go from point A to point B where I'm trying to go? In other words, this transformation needs to be present not only on your homepage, but you should also include it on your services page. And remember that people are more interested in benefits than the features. Lead your design and lead your copy on your website with the benefits and then focus on the features later on. Thing number 5 that potential clients want to see on your website are testimonials and case studies. Basically, the testimonials and case studies back up the claim that you've made previously that you are able to get them that transformation. It shows that you have worked with people before, it shows that you know how to get results, and it shows that other people have put their trust in you and have been able to get the results that your ideal client is looking for. Now, you don't need to include every single testimonial you've ever gotten, nor do you need to create a separate page just for testimonials on your website. Instead, rather focus on 3 to 5 testimonials per page and include them on key places on your entire website. This includes your homepage, your about page, and your services page. And if you have a portfolio page, you should also include your testimonials there as well. Thing number 6 that your ideal clients or potential clients want to see is the time frame. So how long is this going to take? How long will it take before I actually see results? You need to include that on your services page, and you need to state it clearly and include that for each single package or each single service that you offer on your website. For example, for my VIP day package, I clearly state that it takes 7 hours to go from point A to point B, or to work through their design punch list or design wish list or whatever it is that we're working on that day. For my brand and web design package, I clearly state that it takes 4 weeks to go from not having a brand or a website or having an outdated one to having a brand new brand and website that they can showcase to the rest of the world. And finally, thing number 7 that potential clients want to see on your website is what is the next step. So what is the step that they need to take in order to be able to work with you? Whether that's filling out a contact form, filling out an application, downloading something, reading a specific blog post, or going to your online calendar and booking an appointment or a discovery call first. You need to let them know, because we don't know what the next step is. If I come to your website and you don't tell me how I can start working with you, chances are I'm not going to spend a lot of time figuring it out what the hell I'm supposed to do anyway. I'm just going to go to somebody else who already tells me, look, if you're ready to get started, click right here and we'll get the ball rolling. So you need to make sure to include that on your services page, but it's also a good idea to include that in the kind of like the pre-footer area of your homepage as the final call to action when they come to the bottom of your homepage. You can even include it on your about page at the very bottom and just point them to that next step that they need to take in order to start working with you. Now, if you're looking for more help on how to actually build a website that brings you clients on the regular, I have a free training that walks you through the entire process step by step. You can sign up for it at ladesignstudio.com/workshop. I'll also leave a link to it down below. That's it for this video, and I'll see you next time.